Thanks for tuning into our seller interview series. Up today, we've got an affiliate network of publishers and advertisers in the marketing niche making more than $15,000 per month in net profit. The listing number for this one is 40197. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We've got the seller Sid with us today to go through the site and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, Sid. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, Justin.
All right, man. So let's do a quick summary of the situation. Now, this kind of came together in November 2010, but you really started building it out in 2011. The monthly revenue right now sits at just over $21,000 a month. You've got expenses of about $6,000 a month and a net profit of about $15,000 a month. It gets about 26,000 page views per month with about 4,000 to 5,000 visitors a month. Does that sound about right?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. And the other thing we're doing here, we don't normally do this, but we're actually just going to be sharing the URL. We just think it makes more sense. It's a pretty established business. So the URL for this one, if you want to check it out, is aduncle.com. It's established, got a good brand name. We're going to get into all the details about this one. First, Sid, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building, running websites or online businesses? Like, how did you come up with the idea to start this one, for example?
Yes, I hold a bachelor's in computer sciences from India's #1 non-profit private university, that's Amity University. And when I was still in my college, the founder of the university and the vice chancellor saw me doing a lot of entrepreneurial stuff, and then I showed this idea that I have an idea to run an affiliate network, the only one from India at that point of time. And they were very happy to fund me. They incubated me in their incubator, and that's the place this idea got started. And this started up from me alone. Then this became a 3 to 4 people team from $0 for the first 2-3 months to $20,000 or close to $20,000 in profits we are targeting in the next 2 months. So that's how the business has grown. So this is the only full-time business I've started since my college, and I'm still continuing. Apart from that, I keep on doing small stuff here and there. I'm into digital media and I'm into SEO. I'm into everything on the performance side, maybe cost per lead campaigns, cost per sale campaigns, or anything. So that's about me.
I talked to you a little bit about the show, and we talked about your kind of setup, and you have a kind of a holding company, and you keep your different projects under that company. And this is one of the projects, this is the project that you came up with out of university. As part of our background, like, we research our sellers, we want to kind of understand them a bit more. And I saw that, this has gotten some press, it's gotten some attention, and you actually raised money for this one at a valuation of $160,000. You raised some early money or seed money from some people. Can you tell me a little bit about that? What was the process for raising money? Was it miserable, or was it relatively easier than you expected?
That was a really cool process. That was in just 2 meetings, we were able to decide that this is the amount of money that would be coming into the company to start the business. And I raised it from my university, the place I graduated, from the founder and the vice chancellor itself. And that money has already been paid off, and now I hold 100% stake in my company and in the parent holding company since the last 2 years. This has been the only business I've been doing. The investors too are happy now, because at that point of time they rented me space out of their own building free of cost in return for small equity. But then we took back our equity and we paid them back the money we took from them, and now we pay a small rent of our office, and the 100% transactions that we are doing on the bank account currently are for only this business.
Is there a lot of money to be raised in India, and how difficult is it? I know a lot of Indian companies, they're Indian companies, but they're international companies, and they ultimately just go to the U.S. to raise money, right? They're like, I can get more money here, it's more readily available. But is there like a culture for raising money in India? Is that doable, and is it, a regular thing?
Yeah, India is a very hot and happening place when you talk about entrepreneurship specifically. Players like Alibaba, the world's largest e-commerce player, has recently come up in India. They are investing in a lot of startups. They are coming up into mobile. They are doing a lot of things. And India is like, probably I see over 100 investments every year that are above a few $1 million. So it's easy to raise money if you have the right product, the right people, and the right team.
Nice. Let's talk about this a little bit. You actually do have a team. So right now, as it stands, you have a physical office. You have, people that are working on this project, and those people are coming with the sale, right? So they're going to be included in the project.
Right. So I have 2 full-time people right now with me, and both of them I pay a salary of $500 a month. They come full-time with the sale. They would be working with the new buyer for a few months' time till the new buyer has someone who could take care of, or if the new buyer wants my people, my team, because people in India are relatively cheaper as compared to people in US or UK, and they have an experience of, so both of the team members I have been working with us since last over 2 years now. So yeah, so then there's a complete flexibility for the new buyer to either retain the 2 people for a few months, or these people would be able to hand over the entire stuff, teach the new buyer and his team whatever he might think. But I'm completely open to any of the buyer's ideas.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we have a team in the Philippines. That's what we're most familiar with. My business partner, I spent, almost 5 years in the Philippines and building a team there. So we're definitely good with lower cost labor and getting it done that way. So tell me a little bit about like how the site makes money. So you have, on one side, you have publishers that are, looking to, they publish content or whatever, and then you have the advertisers on the other end. How do you make money in the middle?
Yeah, so let's say there's a sale for a weight loss product happening online, right? Some Garcinia Cambogia or something like that.
Yeah.
That's very famous in US and other places. So an affiliate would start a niche site based on this product, and he would pick up the links from our tracking platform. So we would be getting paid like, let's say $50 per sale from the advertiser. We'll be keeping a small margin of, let's say $5 or $10 with us, and we'll be paying around $35, $40 to that affiliate. So we act as a broker between the advertiser and the publisher or the affiliate on the performance model.
Why would the publisher not just go straight to the advertiser? Why would they go through you?
Yeah, see, when we talk to the advertisers, we have a consortium of publishers and we have the capabilities of delivering 100 sales, 1,000 sales or 10,000 sales in a single month. And we give a commitment to the advertiser that, see, this is our delivery model and we would definitely be able to deliver this much volume. So the advertiser needs to interact with only one company or one person for all the amount of sales. But if all the publishers approach the advertiser directly, he might not be able to entertain everyone. Of course, if there's a publisher who can deliver 100,000 sales a month or doing $1 million revenue every month, the advertiser would be happy to work with him directly, but generally that doesn't happen. Advertisers work on the performance model with only the affiliate networks.
Gotcha, that makes sense. So you basically consolidate a lot of the smaller affiliates into one larger group of affiliates, which makes it easier for the advertiser to work with. They're then just working just with you, and you basically have all the small affiliates that are going out there building the content and the sites around their product.
Right, absolutely.
Great. Okay, so that makes sense to me. Is that the only way that the site makes money? Is it just a piece of the deals that go through? Do you have any other earnings?
No, that's the only way. And the advantage to the publisher from our side is that we have a few hundred offers live with us. So we to pick up any offer, any advertisement anytime, or to start with any second advertisement or any other niche anytime, but we at that particular time are responsible for every advertiser. So there comes a liability for us to serve the advertisers, but there comes no liability to the affiliate or the publisher to serve us.
Gotcha. And you worked with companies like Cupid.com, Fiverr.com, companies that are fairly well known in our space, right?
We don't work with them directly, but we have done these advertising campaigns sometimes in the past, in the last 3-4 years. So generally the performance campaigns for particular brands come up from agencies or different companies who are handling digital marketing budgets for these brands.
Gotcha. Sid, why did you get into this affiliate network space at all? Like, what was the driving force for you starting, AdOnCall.com?
Yeah, so back in 2010, affiliate marketing was a very hot and happening, something that was really very growing up very fast in the US. So I was observing that what is the growth rate, the success rate, and how easy it is to make money online using affiliate marketing. So I figured out back in those days in 2010, probably it was a lot more easier to rank websites in Google for very competitive keywords like weight loss, supplements, etc. So the companies that were really making money was the affiliate networks in US, and affiliate marketing at that time was something that was just starting up in India. So I figured out an opportunity over here in India that in the next 5 years, affiliate marketing is something that would really grow up in India, and it's growing up on a very high pace over here. So that was the reason I started up,
So you saw the market blowing up in the US, said, I want to be involved in that. Seems like there's a ton of money to be made, so I'm going to start AdOnCall. It's funny, he said, I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was telling me that, guess, what we're doing in terms of people selling products or services online is cool. He said, but he's worked, in kind of that space. And he said that's where the really big money is in affiliate networks. It's in the coupon sites and affiliates there. He said that's where the crazy money is being passed around. He said, you guys should get into that somehow. Tell me a little bit about why you're selling this site. You've had it since, the site was created in 2010, but you've been running it since 2011. Why are you selling now?
Yeah, so my initial mindset had been to, first of all, conquer the Indian market. So right now I work with almost every agency, advertiser, and every publisher or every advertiser in India knows us. That's a success point we have already reached. And the stats for profits and revenues that you see, so you multiply it by 50 or 60 times, so that's what's the kind of revenue we are doing in India. But when we talk about US, so I always wanted my company to be US-based affiliate networks. Probably my dream was to see it amongst the top 10 affiliate networks in the US. And that seems to be a little tough right now for me sitting here in India. Though last year I incorporated my LLC in the US. We started business over there. We even hit some $23,000 in revenues. But again, people in the US are willing to, talk to people in the US itself who are available in the US timings. So my team is always working in the Indian timing. So coordinating with people in the US timings and getting my team to work at those timings is something that was always not feasible, though we could work on some days of the week. But again, the payment flows was second problem because we had a bank account, but we did not have payment processors so that we could process daily or weekly payments. There were a lot of challenges actually, and we figured out that if we were in the US, we were able to scale things in the US in a much better way rather than being sitting over here in India.
Yeah, so you broke into the Indian market. You're well known there. You've done well for yourself there. The idea was to break into the U.S., and although you've done some business, and you've done some business internationally outside of India, trying to break into the U.S. market was just too difficult. Yes, you set up the LLC, which, by the way, is a whole nother conversation. It'd be interesting to hear, as an Indian, how you set up a U.S. corp. But aside from that, you set up the LLC in the U.S., but you were having trouble with payment processing, couldn't really get that worked out. And so you're looking to sell it off, let someone else kind of run with it and break into the U.S. market. Is that right?
Right, absolutely.
Okay, and then what are you doing with the cash? Like, you're selling the business, you're going to make the money you make on this. What's the plan for the money?
So I've already started up some niche websites and I'm going into Google AdSense websites. I've already planned some new ventures and I would be investing the entire money over there slowly. And I'm even getting married by a year or so, so some funds would be saved for the future life.
Gotcha. Okay. Tell me a little about, we know that this was built in 2010, but what was the trajectory? So you started working on it in 2011. Was it an immediate success or did it take a while to build up?
I started working in 2010. I was having a lot of stuff that time. I was doing website designing. I was doing social media. I was doing mobile apps. that was something not really scaling up. A business I figured out that could scale up to multiple times, and we just need to communicate with the advertisers, the publishers. We need to network with people, and it seemed a lot more easier if we had a lot of cash flow with us. So things have been scaling up really well, and we are still very much profitable. But when you talk about publishers and advertisers in the US, so there are affiliates who were ready to work with us, but they were like, they could bill us $100,000 a week, but the only thing that mattered was we needed to pay them every 30 days, and the advertiser would pay us by 60 days or 65, 70 days. So the cash flow was a big problem. So that's the reason that, prompted us to sell this property off right now.
Gotcha. Okay. So the cash flow between when you're getting paid and when you got to pay out your affiliates was rough, because part of your big sell is that you pay easily, you pay through multiple methods, and you pay quickly. So that's one of the reasons you're able to attract so many of the publishers. Tell me, when you were just starting off, Sid, like, you don't have anything. You have no advertisers, you have no publishers, nothing.
Right.
Who do you start with first? Were you calling advertisers? Were you calling publishers? Were you calling both? And which one was more difficult to get?
Right. So that definitely was a chicken and egg story, and that happened for close to 2 to 3 months. Like, when I used to go to the advertisers, they used to say, what is the number of publishers you have and how many sales a week you can deliver. So if I used to say I can deliver 200 or 300 sales, they would just say, "That's piss off. We don't want to see your face." So if I used to say I could deliver 100,000 leads a week, so they would be more than happy to get started with me within 24 hours.
So how do you do it? Do you just fib a little? Say, we're going to, we're working on it. Like, how do you get those guys on board?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how it started up. And with publishers, so the very first few publishers, even I paid them a little bit of advance money, probably $100 or $200, like, keep this money and just start working with me. So this is a surety that I'm going to pay you, though I'm very new in the market, but we are here for long.
Cool. Okay, so to get the first few, you bribed them basically to submit saying, look, we're legit. Here's some money up front. We'll take it out of what you owe, whatever. Just stick with us and we'll make this work. Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay. I can see that being a difficult challenge, is just getting it off the ground, right? And you're right about the chicken and egg problem. I get that. So what have you done in this business that you thought really worked, that just was just a real winner and you can apply to other businesses as well?
Yeah, so there have been a lot of players in the market. Probably every year, a lot of affiliate networks do shut down. In this business, people are in the process of making quick money, and once they make some quick money, like, they are not willing to invest back into the company, but they are willing to take that money and, invest in other projects. So I have always been dedicated to the company, investing the entire money back into the company sometimes, and we have been very ethical. The two people that work with me, they work 5 times of other people in other networks. So we are a team of 3, but we work as efficiently as a team of 20.
Gotcha. So one of the benefits you think that really worked out well was the fact that you were paying on time, you're treating everyone fairly, and you've got a really close-knit team that was able to crush it. So what did you do, Sid, that just didn't work? Was there anything you tried with the business or someone you targeted that just it didn't work for you?
Yes, so cracking deals in the US was something that did not work for me. There have been a couple of advertisers who wanted a face-on-face meeting with me, probably in 1 week's time or something. When I started talking to them, they were happy to do business with me, but most of the times they wanted to see me and sign a contract over the table. That is something I really wanted to do, but I could not leave my office and fly to US every time.
Yeah.
So though I hold a 10 years US business class visa, and if the new buyer wants me to visit his place and help him for a few days, I would be happy to come over. But visiting every few days is something that would be a little tough.
A little challenging. That's a long flight, buddy.
Right.
So I've always found it interesting with like Indian companies that do really great products, but they don't break the marketing in the U.S., right? That seems to be a challenge. Like, they don't have the marketing going as well in the U.S. And the ones that do absolutely crush it. So I think for someone that's familiar with this space, that is American, for example, would have a really good leg up in terms of heading into the U.S. market. They're in that time zone, they're from that culture, and they can, obviously show up at the table and sign deals. So let's talk a little bit about the traffic and earnings.
Right.
It's not your, aduncle.com isn't really, the earnings aren't based on the traffic necessarily, but tell me a little bit about kind of your growth.
Yeah, so seeing our growth, the affiliates that have been working with us, they have been working with us for years. Someone who starts working with us, he's so much happy working with us. Like if we say that we pay you on a 60-day cycle, so every 58th or 59th day, affiliate would see the payments in his account. And we are the only network in India who does that. No network in India pays you before 90 days or 120 days. Probably one network pays in 60 days, and we are the second network. And our affiliates have been working with us since years. And if you see the traffic is also steady. That traffic is only of the affiliates who log into our system, who pick up the URLs and banners. They start advertising on their websites.
How many affiliates do you have right now total? And then how many do you have that are active?
Yeah, so around 40 to 50 affiliates are active, billing us good every month. But then we have close to 3,000 to 4,000 affiliates with us who have just signed up but are in pending state because we have not approved them, because we are right now not working in the US, UK. Even we have some affiliates from China, Russia, Australia, Canada. So on an average, we receive 2 to 3 advertiser sign-ups every week, and then 4 to 5 affiliates sign up with us every week, because we are very well indexed in Google search, in all the affiliate directories. We have a presence on all kind of forums related to affiliate marketing, whether it's a free forum, paid.
So today, both your affiliates and the advertisers are coming in organically. Are you doing any paid traffic? Are you doing any kind of like reach out strategies to bring out new people on, or is it all organic?
Absolutely no paid traffic since last 2 years. Everything is coming up organically. We have like advertisers and publishers emailing us, but we are not approving them. We are just replying them that at the moment we are not looking for any publishers for your country, but once we plan to, we'll happily get in touch with you again and approve your account right away.
Gotcha. Tell me a little bit about the platform that you use.
Yes, we use HasOffers tracking platform. That's one of the best tracking platforms in the affiliate industry. So I was one of their first customers in India, and because of signing up with them very early, I have some special added privileges in addition to a discount on the monthly fees that they have given me. And probably if someone is starting an affiliate network fresh, neither would they get those rates, neither they would get those added advantages that I have. I'm in direct contact with the founding team at HasOffers.
Gotcha. So you've got, going through this again, you've got 40 to 50 affiliates that are active and regularly, publishing for you. How many advertisers do you have active right now, and how many have you used overall?
So currently we work with agencies or other networks who are handling the clients directly, right? So let me give you an example. There's an agency known as Resultrix in India. So Resultrix has around 8 to 10 different brands, and they hold advertising budgets for these brands with them.
Yeah.
Right? So we just need to get in touch with this agency, and this agency would give us the performance campaigns, the affiliate campaigns.
How do you get in touch with them? Just shoot them an email, give them a call? How does that work?
Yes, so we every year go to AdTech, that's annual advertising, international advertising conference that happens in India every year, and almost all the affiliates, the publishers, the advertisers, the agencies come up over there. So I've made my personal relationships and contacts with them over time. But yeah, sometimes it's over the phone or over the email, over Skype calls that we get in touch with them. Mostly it's over LinkedIn as well. So that's how it's going.
Gotcha. So someone who wanted to break into this in the U.S. would do something similarly. They would go to the conferences in the U.S., start making those connections if they don't have them already.
Right, absolutely.
Okay. Let's talk about the opportunities with this business. If, someone were to take this over and they wanted kind of the least risky path to growth, they just kind of want to maintain what's going on and grow a little bit every year, like what steps would they have to take?
So the first step would be emailing all the publishers and advertisers that giving an introduction about themselves that we are the new buyers for this company. To the advertisers, they would need to ask that you now need to make the payments internationally to the US bank account. And for the publishers, probably they could say that there's a new account manager for you. If you have any issues, you can get in touch with this manager, or if they want my team to stay over there with them, that would again I'll be happy to introduce them to the new buyers.
Okay, so basically that would be kind of the intro that would get, the new buyer started. But if they want to continue to grow it over time, like what kind of work would they need to do? I mean, definitely go into some of the conferences in the U.S. Those are opportunities, I think, for growth. What else do you think they could do?
Right. So first of all, I need to know the buyer's strategy. What is he targeting? So currently we work on a heavy profit model. If the new buyer is ready to reduce profits a little bit, the top line sales can increase enormously. Like probably in India itself, you can scale to $50,000 a month, but the profits would reduce because you will have to then work with the topmost affiliates in India at that moment.
Okay, so looking at dropping margins to increase top line to grow the company, basically just taking some of the profits and reinvesting back in. What could someone do if they really wanted to aggressively break into the U.S. market or really expand this globally? Like, what are some riskier steps that would give them, potentially huge rewards?
Right. So the first thing would be getting in touch with the advertisers directly. And we already have a couple of advertisers signed up with us. They just need to activate their account and send them an email that your account is activated and you are free to integrate a campaign into our system and we can start working with you. Once they do that, within 3 to 4 days, direct advertisers on good payouts would be active, and then they just need to log into some paid forums where those international affiliates from US, UK, Canada would be logging in to check out what offers are there, which affiliate networks, and they pick up. So a lot of traffic comes from places like Offer Vault, etc. So international affiliates check out. So it's relatively easier. I've been through the entire process, been having affiliates working with me from US, and how I did that, I could guide the new buyer very easily. That's just a week's process and that can be done very easily.
All right, Sid. So take yourself out of the seller's perspective and put yourself into the buyer's perspective. Like if you were potentially buying this business, like what risks do you see? What are the biggest risks that a buyer should be aware of or try to work around?
Right. The biggest risks would be if you are doing business with a company in US. So let's say you bill $100,000 a week or a month to a company in the very first month. And after 30 days, that company runs off and doesn't pay you. So that is a risk of not getting paid by a brand. So you just need to do a reference check with 1 or 2 other affiliate networks. So that's a strategy I myself had adopted. I used to ask the other affiliate network guys that how good is this company, or if the new person I'm doing business with could give me some reference checks from other affiliate networks. This keeps on happening in this industry that other affiliate networks work on with advertisers or brands directly without doing any reference checks, and there are small delays in the payment. Might be the company would pay you, but that might take 2 to 3 to 4 months, and you need to pay your publishers in 60 days.
Yeah, so a cash flow hit is the worst. Did you ever have a time where like one of the big brands just didn't pay?
When I started the company back in 2010-11, 1 or 2 brands did not pay me.
Oh, that's painful.
That was a lesson learned, and since last 2 to 3 years, I've always been doing reference checks, and we have always been paid by the people we have ever worked with.
That's particularly difficult when you're paying out publishers beforehand, before you've even gotten paid, right? That hurts cash flow. Did you ever look at getting like bridge loans or like financing that gap?
No, since we have always been profitable, and that was just a game for 6 to 8 months to get rid of the cash flows issues in India, because we were reinvesting the profits we were generating back into the business. So there was never a need to raise some bridge round or some financing for the same.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's move this into the work required. So can you tell me a little bit about kind of what your day-to-day is like, Sid, or what you do on an average week? What's your work required for this?
Right, so I'll tell you the responsibilities for 3 of us. So one person in my team is an affiliate manager. She interacts with all the affiliates all the time. If they need some assistance, they need to know what is the kind of an advertising offer, what offer is working very well, how is it converting, what they can do to increase their revenues. So she guides the affiliates on how to do, what to do to maximize your revenues.
Does she do that via email, via Skype? How does she communicate with them?
She is available over email as well as over phone and Skype as well.
Okay, great. So that's the affiliate side.
Yes. The second side is the advertiser side, where we need to integrate a lot of advertising campaigns into our tracking platform. So that's the guy who does the integration and the tracking part, and he works with the advertisers on the billing side as well, sending them an invoice every month that last month's delivery is this, asking them for valid numbers and verifying the bank account that we have received the payments from them. Affiliates as well. So he takes care of the tracking and integrations plus the billing and accounts.
Okay, and then your role.
Yeah, so I handle the top-notch affiliates and the top-notch advertisers myself, people who are billing us like probably a few $100s every day, and the biggest agencies or the advertisers from where the business flows in, I handle them myself. Plus, I'm always looking forward for new business, new publishers, new advertisers. So the growth part is something I take care of myself.
Cool. Okay, so let me ask you this. Is it true with this business that, the top couple of advertisers and the top, 5 or so affiliates account for the bulk of the revenue? Is that true in your business?
Yes, that's absolutely true. But on the other side, let me take like the top 5 affiliates on one side and the bottom 35 affiliates on the other side. So the kind of revenues that both the sides do are almost the same.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so tell me, how do you have all these, because you have a bunch of affiliates that haven't started or are pending approval or whatever. How do you have them in the system? Do you have their email addresses? Can you reach out to them via email?
Yes, so if you go to our website, aduncle.com, we have a sign-up form over there. So in the sign-up form, we have mentioned, first of all, enter your personal details, your name, your email ID, your phone number, your Skype ID. And then we ask them that what is the kind of affiliate campaigns you are looking forward to run with us? What is your model? How much leads or sales would you be able to deliver us? And what is the kind of transactions you do? If you're working with any other affiliate networks, so what are they? And introduce us with them, or give us a reference check that you are a genuine affiliate, you are not a fraudster who would just be filling up the leads himself and asking us for the money.
Gotcha. Okay, so tell me a little bit about the skills, that someone might have that's looking to purchase this business. What would be the perfect buyer? What kind of skills would they have, experience would they have, etc.?
There's no particular experience required. We would handhold the new buyer, teach him. Probably it's not going to take more than 3-4 days to a week to learn the entire system, but someone who knows about how digital marketing works, what is performance model, what is branding, so that would be great. But otherwise there's no specific skill set. Like, I am myself an engineering graduate and I am completely into business side of it, right? So there's no skill set as such required, but you just need to know how the complete system works.
Who handles development for you? Is that something, you use a contractor for that, or do you have someone on staff?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah, development. Who handles development for you? Is that someone you have on staff, or is that someone that you send the work to as a contractor?
Yeah, so we don't need anything in the development. There's just the tracking platform that's required, and that's an outsourced tracking platform from Has Offers. Apart from that, development side, like if some landing pages or some websites are to be developed, so we do that in WordPress and I can do that myself.
Who did the design?
The logo is something I got it made from a professional logo designer. The design has been customized by me myself, and that's a WordPress theme I've customized.
Cool. Okay. All right, Sid. So, I mean, I got a pretty good grasp, I think, on the work required. I mean, basically, you're handling the white glove touch with the VIP affiliates and advertisers and shopping for new ones. And your team handles kind of the bulk of the advertisers or affiliates and is looking to bring in new ones that reach out and that kind of thing. Let's talk about some additional information. You know, one of the buyer's concerns might be if they bought this business that you turn around and start competing with them directly. Are you willing to sign a non-compete, specifically keeping you away from the advertisers and affiliates in this network?
Yes, I'm willing to sign a non-compete for a year or two maybe.
Okay, so I mean that would be my concern buying it. I want to make sure that you're not going after the same affiliate, same advertisers in the same space. That would be helpful. How much support are you offering a buyer?
So I'm always open for support. If the buyer wants me to work with him full time for a few months, I'm willing to come on a salary model, but otherwise I'm willing to offer a 1 month full time support, probably 2 to 3 hours every week for 1 to 2 months. And then he can add me on Skype. I'm willing to help him forever. Probably 90 days is something I can give a dedicated Skype and email support. And then anytime he needs my assistance, I can help, because probably this is my baby. I can't see it, closing up or the new buyer win problem. I want this venture to be scaled up to 10 times in a year or so. And if the buyer wants me to help him into the same, I would be more than happy.
Gotcha. Okay. So you're willing to do 30 days full turnover. You're totally available. And then 90 days email and Skype. And then potentially we're willing to stick on longer for salary or something like that if needed or whatever. You also mentioned you might be willing to fly out to the U.S. You got the visa already, so you could come out and kind of, take a week or so and kind of get them up to speed, which I think might be helpful.
Right.
All right. So support's good. You talk about this being your baby and wanting to see it scaled up. Have you ever heard of this model? This might actually be interesting for you, where you retain some equity, where you keep 10, 15, 20% equity and stay on as an advisor. Obviously, the price for the sale would be less expensive, or you would make less on the sale, but you'd also get some upside for the person buying it and expanding it. Is that something you'd be open to?
Not really right now, because I have some AdSense projects that are really picking up. But if the coordination between the buyer goes very well and he feels like having me on board, that is something I would like to talk to the buyer after the sale has happened.
Great. Okay. And are you open to a split or an earn out on this? So if someone wants to do 70% upfront, 30%, let's say in 30 to 60 days after training, or, 60% upfront and 40% over the next 12 months, are you open to that or no?
I'm open to that for some extent, probably 10 or 15% or to 20% to the max, but not beyond that.
Okay. It's never ideal, right? Ideally you get 100% cash up front. That would be the best offer, but you're open to it, and it's going to depend on kind of the deal and how it works out and what it looks like, right?
Right.
Okay, great. All right. Well, let's do a quick wrap up. The Niche, this is an affiliate network of publishers and advertisers. It was built in 2010 and really scaled up in 2011. It's got a great brand name in the space, aduncle.com. It's got a lot of traction in India and operates internationally, and there's a huge opportunity to build this out in the U.S. Currently comes with 2 additional staff members. They handle on one side the affiliates, on one side the advertisers. It's monetized, via, you're making money on the arbitrage and the brokerage of this, and it makes a little over $15,000 in net profit per month. Sid, what would be your best pitch, let's say 30 seconds or whatever, on why someone should purchase this business?
So this is the only business that's a pure cash flow game, and you do not require any product to be built or an idea to be validated into the market. And this has already been there in the market since last 4 years now. The smallest of the guys to the top-notch guys in the industry know us already. And if you are to start an affiliate network fresh, it would take you at least 2 to 3 years. So acquiring this business is the best choice you could make ever.
Awesome, Sid. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for taking the time, and I'm sure they got some value out of this. If anyone's on the listing page of this and wants to get more information or all the details, they can look at the top right-hand corner and pay the deposit, and we'll send them over everything. If you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere else, click the link in the notes, and it'll take you to the listing so you can get more details. Again, thanks so much, Sid.
Thank you.